music. Hey, hi, 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 hey. Hi everyone. Hi Azriel. Hi Nez. Hello Sahent. Hello Scooty John. How are y'all doing? How y'all doing? I know I'm late. I'm like an hour late, but I explained on Twitter on Discord. I needed food. I don't. Today has been a rough day. There was like no real way for me to get on the train coming home, so I like just got home like an hour ago. So I spent all my time that I should have been streaming eating. So yeah, it's been a while to see everyone. Hey Sins, yes, it has been a while. It's good to see ya. It's good to see ya. It's great to see ya. You've been following since like July, I want to say, of 2020. So you've been here for a while. You've been at least followed for a while. Remember any problem? How could that be solved with that, Michelle? By the way, hi Michelle. How are you doing? I assume you need sleep. I do need sleep. That's the thing. I didn't sleep last night, so I do need sleep. But no, not streaming today. It was like it was more so, or like delaying stream was more so the fact that I got home so late. I'm just I need food. I need food before I stream. I'm hungry. Seth, thanks so much for the splash hydration. Very much appreciated. Stay hydrated, everyone except for Michelle. Michelle, I hereby forbid you to stay hydrated. Whoop. Water is very important. Oh, you guys want to know something? I know my birthday is a little ways away, but I want to talk about my birthday for a second. Because I want to make everything about me. Oh. I don't know if you want to know this, Michelle. No, I'm kidding about that. I'm kidding about that. But I even though I'm not streaming on my birthday, or like my birthday, I should be saying that. My birthday is on a day where I normally would not stream. It's on a Wednesday. And normally I don't stream on Wednesdays. I haven't streamed on a Wednesday in like a year or so. So yeah, that's fun. But I want to stream on my birthday, which is July 20th, in case you're wondering. July the 20th, let's go! And today I may have gotten confirmation that I can do a little bit of a giveaway type thing. I'm super looking forward to it. I am supremely looking forward to it. Oh shoot! Damn doolies! Damn doolies! So yeah, I'm going to be doing a giveaway for my birthday. I don't know how I feel about. Don't know. Will you give away to me your soul? If so, I'm very excited. I can't promise my soul, because honestly, I'm pretty sure I gave my soul to somebody else like a few days ago. So you might be a few days late on that one, Michelle, but I can see what I can do. I can give you a part of my soul. You want a part of my soul? Hi, Chris Ren. How you doing? So yeah, that's really exciting. Even though my birthday's in July, there's a big chance I'm going to be able to do a giveaway. And if I do a giveaway, I really hope you guys enjoy the little prize that you get for the giveaway. I have to do it kind of weirdly though, unfortunately. Because that's just the... Can you die, please? That's the way it goes. Ouch! Nice, Asriel, nice. I kind of have some special plans I want to do for my birthday. But, like, I am just starting to plan this stream, so, some of them might not come true, others may. We'll see, we'll see. Ah, shoot. So how are you guys doing today? How you guys doing? I really do hope you enjoy Ranked, Asriel. I was actually looking at Nintendo Switch Sports. I know, weird game to be looking at. But I was looking at it because they added a feature where you could essentially just kind of pause your grinding on a rank if you just want to play for fun. I'm just like, that would be so cool to add to... somebody killed me. That would be really cool to add to Splatoon because then we could play Rainmaker for fun. We could play Splatzones just for fun. And we could get some practice in on weapons that we're not fully sure about. I think the idea to pause your grinding for the rank would be an amazing idea. Hey, I believe in you, Azriel. I believe in you. Ouch. Hello, Chestron. Yes, we are currently doing ranked right now, so you can't join on this one. But, I still haven't changed the password. But, if you wanna still join in, we'll probably be doing PBs in a little bit. Nice. Hopefully you didn't hurt yourself too much with the bowling. Are you talking about Nintendo Switch Sports bowling, or are you talking about like actual bowling? I don't know who won that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, we won! Let's go. GG, real bowling? Oh, that's so much better. Oh, whoops. That's so much better. I hope you had fun. I really hope you had fun. Azriel, I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna take a lot of practice to get into using motion with a roller. Loki the Moki the Aki. Hi. Hi, Autumn. How you doing, Autumn? I am very far from a secure ranked. Very, very far from a secure ranked. Good, I got Switch Sports today. Nice, Autumn. Nice. I hope you're having fun with it. I really do hope you're having fun with it. Yuki, thanks so much for the splash hydration. By the way, hi, Yuki. I'll drink some water for you, Yuki. Everyone stay hydrated. Everyone. Except for Michelle. Michelle, you're not allowed to stay hydrated. Shall happen soon, hopefully. We'll see, Azriel. We'll see. I did a main to rank on soccer today. I am impressed because I do not know how anyone can do soccer. I suck at the soccer. Back off. Hi, Yuki. How you doing, Yuki? How you doing? Oh, that anime emote's really cute on him. Shoot. It's my favorite one. It looks adorable. Whose emote is that? Oh, nice. Super cute. I want to get some anime emotes, but I haven't gotten any figured out yet. There was that one that Michelle did a sketch of that I thought was super cute. I walked into that one. Cherry, yeah. They seem super cool. Let's go, let's go. Shoot. No, I'm kind of walking into my death here. Oof, oof. Then I played the Nickelodeon game, the Nickelodeon All-Stars game. That game always looks like so much fun, but the first game looked like it was just lack of content. I ordered a Polaroid camera the other day. Nice, Quiddy. Join the Polaroid camera gang, because I actually do have a Polaroid camera. I actually technically have 2 Polaroid cameras. I have the modern day one, but from a yard sale that years ago, I bought a really old style Polaroid camera. I don't know whatever happened to it. I'm hoping it is in storage, and then once I go into my parents' storage, I can go get it back. Yeah, but we'll see. I have the modern one, and I have like one of the like really old ones. One of the really old ones. I wouldn't know the model off the top of my head, but it was one of the ones that had the battery pack in with the actual pictures instead of the other way around. I also have an Instax, even though that's a completely different brand. Instax isn't a Polaroid, it is Instax. So I think it's actually Fuji, isn't it? Something like that. I also have an Instax camera, but an Instax printer. I also told my friend to stop talking about Sploon. And according to him, I'm not allowed to talk about games that I enjoy, but I don't curses. Man, that would drive me crazy. You know, I could never say that. One Step or Now Plus. I know for a fact it's not the small one. Shoot, I have to actually look at it. Ah! Boop. Let's see. I actually have the thing. Polaroid Now. Polaroid Now. That's what I got. There we go. Actually, wait, no. That's the small one? What the heck? Weird. Why does that not look right? I'm sorry, I do not know what's going on with me today. I completely forgot what type of Polaroid camera. Yeah, it would be the Polaroid Now. Sorry about that. I thought the Polaroid Now was the, or Now Plus would be the small one, but apparently it's the big one. I mean, I would go grab my actual Polaroid camera and check what it is on the box, but it's in my room right now, kind of stored away, someplace safe in a Polaroid bag that my friend Milliclue, you guys met Milliclue before, insisted I get. It was this like really cute Polaroid bag. I think that, yeah, that's the one that I'm worried about getting confused is the Polaroid Go, which is the like the very small one, the very baby one. I do have an Instax which prints the same type of pictures of like the Polaroid Go. I do really enjoy my Instax, but man, I just think the Polaroid's a little bit better, to be honest with you. But I'm pretty sure mine's the Now Plus. The Now Plus. and I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty sure I only got the Now Plus because it has the double exposure feature, which I was messing around with, and if I ever got into giving away physical rewards, I couldn't do it here on Twitch for obvious reasons, but if I ever did give away some physical rewards, if I could find a way to do it without getting in trouble with Twitch, I would probably give away some very interesting Polaroids. And they would be one of a kind. Can you imagine, though, getting a Polaroid that's like just a random picture of a streamer? You're like, "Hi, Alex. How you doing? How you doing, Alex?" I have no idea if anyone would actually like that. I know what you mean, my friend. I know what you mean. I really do like how the new Polaroid cameras are set up. I have used the very old cameras with the 600 film before. It is okay, here's the thing. It works well, the film works well, but at the same time I get kind of concerned with how chunky the battery is and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm making sense. But there are definitely better ways to deal with the batteries, and like making it reusable was better. Loki, what do you think of the outfit for Swiss Sports? Are you talking about the squirrel outfit? Are you talking about the juice squirrel outfit? Understandable, Autumn. In Nintendo Switch Sports, not Nintendo Switch Sports, in Wii Sports, I used to do that all the time. Ah, nice, Squiddy, nice. Maybe one of these days, if I can find my old Polaroid camera, assuming that someone didn't throw it out and or sell it, I'll probably have to show you a picture of it, and then I'm not the best at identifying what camera it is. But I have a love for these instant photos. I actually don't like taking photos that much when it's on my phone or when it's on my big DSR. I want to do things where it's just like just Polaroids. I want to take another trip to Disney. I've been to Disney so much, and I love it there. I have a lot of fun at Disney. But I want to do another trip to Disney where I just do Polaroid photos. And I think that would be a lot of fun. I really do think it would be a lot of fun. I mean, I don't think it feels less special. I just think with the fact is that it gets really overthought about. Like, most things these days, like, this kind of ticks me off, but no, shoot, fade. Oh, I hope you had fun, Asriel. I hope you had fun. It's not that I think that digital images or digital media is less special. It's just that when you try and get something done, like professionally, you don't really get the raw photo anymore. You get what's edited, where they exaggerate your best features, where they exaggerate the lighting, where they're very... I don't know if I'm making sense. I really don't know if I'm making sense. I like the idea of Polaroids where they're just the photo. Now, of course, there's the Polaroid printer now, where you can literally edit your photos in another software and upload and put them into the Polaroid. Not upload them to the Polaroid, but like print them out as a Polaroid so they are still edited. But actually taking a picture with the Polaroid and not having to worry about having it edited or like or your photographer saying no, you can't have the raw files. It's like, I get it. If anyone's like a photography major or like does wedding photography and they're getting mad at me because I'm talking about raw files, I understand fully that you can't send them to people. I understand that. I fully get that. I'm not trying to be critical here. There's a lot of like technical reasons why you wouldn't be able to send someone the raw files. At the same time, it makes me sad that you can't send the raw files to someone. Because a big part of the things that I want to have from these memories would be just what it looked like in the moment, not this edited version of it. And I don't know if I'm making sense. Loki and Squirrel outfit 1. If I get it in Switch Sports, I will do it. Next time I play Switch Sports, I'll do the Squirrel outfit. How about that, Autumn? How about that? Actually, would that be a dick move? If I got the wedding photographer to take pictures with just Polaroids? Be like, hey, wedding photographer, I know you got like $2,000 worth of recording equipment. But can you take a picture with this like $100 Polaroid camera with a film that literally costs us $45? I mean, that depends on who you're talking about, Squiddy John. I know there's some people who are good at getting really amazing raw photos with just with digital cameras, and they're also really great with Polaroids. But getting digital photos isn't so much about getting like an actual photo anymore as is getting the editing of the photo. Which I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like. I really hate that. Oh no, I should 100% get that school outfit, Chris. I should 100% get that school outfit. I have a feeling that like photographers are going to get mad at me for saying this. But it's like, I don't know, man. Then again, I think I grew up in a time where we were just starting to get all the technology to edit your photos on your phone and built into every single computer. Like, I just realized that the other day. Since I've owned this PC, it came with an editing software that, like, beautifies my photos. My phone has a filter that I can turn on automatically to beautify my photos. And it makes me so sad because I just want like a natural photo. I'm not hating on anyone that edits their photos or like moments where you would want to edit your photos. I'm just so nostalgic for the times where like we got a disposable camera. I took a picture of a flag. That's what I'm nostalgic for, my dude. It's not a hate for editing photos. I just want things to be nostalgic like they once were. Ooh, those are some fighting words, Michelle. Yeah, that was a really good rush, actually. That was a pretty good rush. And they did a good rush as well. Back off. Spam them error. I'm trying. You know what, Scary John? That's completely valid. And to anyone who's here who's like, well, I edit my photos, that's also valid. I'm not trying to say one way is superior than another. Okay, I died by a bathtub. Feck. I died to a gosh darn bathtub. Oh my gosh. Again, I'm not trying to say one way is superior to the other. It's just, in my lifetime, I think I've seen more edited photos of people than natural photos. And I don't know, I just kind of feel more fascinated with what people are able to bring out with themselves naturally as opposed to editing. And that's going to be a personal preference. If that's not your personal preference, don't think twice about it. That's up to you. Do what you want. I'm just saying, I don't personally like it. Well, even if we lose this match, I'm going to do hecka good on kills. Yeah, Yeah, exactly, Squiddy John. There is no right way to do. It's like comparing digital art to traditional art. Both are completely valid for completely different reasons. They both take a lot of hard work and skill. It's just some people prefer one over the other. And it's like comparing modern art to, I don't know, a regular painting. I'm not fully sure the genres of art. Or like a horror painting or something like that. Stuff that's made to make you uneasy. It's, of course, not every genre or every aspect of every art form is going to be up to everyone's cup of tea. That's fine. I'm just expressing why I think it's right for my cup of tea. And if you disagree, I mean, there's not much to disagree with. You just enjoy what you need to enjoy. Oh, that's really what this comes down to. I found traditional art easier. It can be. It can be. Oh, hi. Hi, Vintage. How you doing, Vintage? Sorry, I got into my rant. I forgot Loki plays K-Gal. Yeah, I love it. How you doing, Zen? How you doing? Fine. Thank you. Yeah, that sounds understandable, Squiddy. I haven't drawn traditionally in quite a while because in my opinion, it's way harder. I like how Squiddy John's like, I find traditional art easier. And then Michelle's like, I find it really difficult. I know, Zen. I'm just gonna stick to calling you Zen, though. I like that name, Zen. Hi, Blaze! It really is, Azriel. It really is. Wow, we have a bunch of people coming in while I was ranting about, art! Out of all the things I could be ranting about. And hey! We're talking about photography and when is PB. You know what? I'm kind of tempted to jump into it right after this battle. I want to do PBs early. How many people want to do PBs? How many people want to do PBs? Well, that's at least 2 people who's down for PBs. I'll open up the PBs for a little while, and then we can see where we go from there. If not enough people want to join in on PBs, we'll do a few rounds to just a few people. But if not a lot of people are interested, we can just do some... Ah! Balls. No, we're not doing balls. Blazer Dean, what is Loki thinking about? I'm thinking about art now. And what I was gonna say earlier before I got interrupted with this match, there's many different types of art forms. Don't think that the only way to do art is to draw or to take a photo or to do something that's like Thomas Kinkade, you know what I mean? I'm referencing Thomas Kinkade. I know a lot of people hate Thomas Kinkade. I can't bring myself to hate Thomas Kinkade because one of my grandmothers, who's unfortunately gone now, I miss her very much. She adored Thomas Kinkade, and whenever I think of Thomas Kinkade, I think of her. And I know it's like kind of just an old person thing, but still, I have a Thomas Kinkade photo that, not photo, but a print of one of his paintings that sits in my living room. It's hung in my living room to remind me of her. I don't care how much everyone hates Thomas Kinkade. I am never getting rid of it because it's my it was my grandmother's. It was one of the, like, 5 things I got from my grandmother when she passed away. I'm not giving it up. I'm trying. But yeah, art isn't just painting or traditional art, digital art, or photography. It's not something you hang on your wall. It doesn't have to be something you hang on the wall. One of the art forms that I like talking about is editing. Editing movies, editing films, editing... Well, that's also a form of digital art, but you get what I mean. It's like, even you could argue, like, Avengers Endgame is a technical form of art due to the CGI and the impressive animations that they did. If you want to go more into something that's, like, physically held but not hung on a wall, You could do crocheting, you could do knitting, you could do sewing. Those are also forms of art. There's tons of different ways to do art instead of just doing drawing if drawing's not your thing. If you are feeling artsy, there's multiple ways to go about it. Same, Chris, same. I only do... Would you stop talking to me, phone? I only do crocheting art now because crocheting art is like the main art that I can do. But yeah. Okay, I remember this rant that my old Pier 1 teacher about juvenile do. What? Yuki, what the heck? The only one way to create art is to try and do it the right way. Well, I mean, that also has limitations on it. The features in digital art provides, in my opinion, are far superior than traditional art has. Digital art destroys many of traditional art's limitations. The last time I drew traditional, I screwed up the line art. I was so mad I just stopped drawing for a day and haven't gone back to that drawing. That is also understandable. And may I say, in some cases, because of what Michelle just said, it makes it a lot more accessible. Let's be honest, there's like... You could make... Yeah, the art stuff costs a lot of money. But if you have a tablet for something else, like a lot of people naturally have a tablet for something else anyways in their lives, all you need is like a stylus that's like, what? Probably like 90, 80 bucks? 100 if you're in Canada? It makes it accessible and it's a lot of fun. But also Squiddy John, I personally like working with limitations. That's why I do traditional art. Use cassettes and I'll soon be trying out Polaroids. Squiddy John, if I may be blunt about this, you may want to find a different film camera as well. Because, I hate to break this to you, but Polaroids actually do work very differently than other film cameras. I know that's confusing, but it's kind of complicated to explain. But if you do want to experiment with all of what film has to offer, you should also try and find, like, I know there's some places in the world that has film cameras from libraries. I just recommend that you try it because there is a huge difference between them and like getting them developed and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if that makes sense, but there is a huge difference between. It was weird, rant. I don't remember the context. How does that happen? Oh yeah, another problem. Price of art materials. Yeah. My favorite painting is a great wave over kind of OTS. It's a wooden block painting. That is mighty impressive. I think I know what painting you're talking about. That painting is absolutely stunning. GG. It's saying, yeah, okay, Crup's a text alcohol market you can get, but it's still nuts. It is still nuts. Oh shoot, I was supposed to go into PBs. We'll go into PBs after this round. I'm getting way too into my art talk right now. But art is one of those things that... You see, here's the thing. I really hate those art snobs that are just like, art has to be this one way. Art has to be displaying these types of messages. And just like, no. There are many video games that are made for profit but also tell a very artful story. One of the examples that I want to say, while it doesn't tell a very artful story, but it is very, it does do a good job of like breaking the lines of like what a video game should be, is the Stanley Parable. Now what I've actually seen from the Stanley Parable is mostly in the 2013 version. I haven't seen that much of the new version that came out recently. But it's a good commentary on like making jokes and stuff like that about video games and choose your own adventure games and how stories go. There's a lot of games that tell a very adorable story. There's a lot of games. Like, I want to say Hat Time is a cute story, but I've never beaten that game. There are games like... Oh, look at that. Bonus is playing Fortnite. Nice. There are games like... there's this clock game where... Like, you end up reacting in the, like, last 15 minutes, and it tells a very twisted story. It's like that type of stuff. I count that fully as art because it's like it's using everything available to it. And to say it's not art, that it doesn't tell a story worth telling, it's interesting and keeps you engaged and keeps you wanting more. So what more can you ask? I'm totally aware that Polaroids are their own thing. I'm not currently interested in film. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. I have a feeling you'd be great at that, Squiddy John. I have a feeling you'd be great at that. I'm glad you made it out of that class okay, Yuki. I'm glad you made it out of the class okay. But going back to talk about art more, art is a complicated subject, and I get so tired of hearing people argue it should be this way, video games shouldn't count as art, this should count as art. I also want to point out, making something that's thought-provoking doesn't necessarily mean it's good. I don't know if that makes sense, but making something that makes you think doesn't necessarily mean it's good. There's definitely been pieces in my life that have definitely made me think. Hi, Squid Kid. How you doing? I hope you're doing good, Squid Kid. There's definitely art pieces and stories that have made me think, but in the worst way possible. Actually, some of the more interesting things I've gotten to think about came from things that most people would deem as mindless. So yeah. Hi, King Shadow. How you doing? How you doing? Ah, that's good, Yuki. That's good. Art is subjective. All depends on the person who views specific piece of art. Hey, that also comes to a point, because I've read stories about this guy who put down his reading glasses on a table and walked away from it in an art gallery, and then a bunch of people huddled around it, looking at it like it was a piece of art. If it makes you think this is dumb, that's not good. It's not even just that is dumb, or this is dumb. It's when, like, there's fallacies in them that, in the art itself, that kind of destroys the whole piece. Not that, I don't really have an example for, like, painting or photography or, like, something like that. King Child Gaming, thanks so much for the splash hydration. Took a sip of water for ya. Stay hydrated, everyone. Except for Michelle. Michelle, you're not allowed to stay hydrated. Hey, Silent Mongoose. Going back to what I was saying before, not that this is like something that you would argue if it was art or not, because it's a kids television program. But this is kind of what I mean by if it makes you think. Not all things that make you think is good. And the thing that I'm going to use as an example is the kids TV program Steven Universe. And you've probably heard me complain about this plenty of times before, especially if you listen to the podcast. But Steven Universe, I'm gonna spoil. I think Michelle Hydration is spite. Yeah, yep. I'm going to go into private battles, so if you want to join in on private battles, exclamation mark join. Exclamation mark join if you want to join private battles. But going to the thing I was going to say about Steven Universe is, oh god, not that show. Here's the thing. Steven Universe, despite what I have to say about it, is a really good show. There is nothing denying that. It is a very fun show. It's a very good show. It was, for what it was at the time, it was kind of worthwhile. The music is melting in my brain. Yeah. But it was a good show. However, there became one major glaring issue in that its messaging was not only inconsistent, but inconsiderate. A good example of this is the Diamond Story arc. Personally, really like Steven Universe. I'm not gonna say you should or shouldn't enjoy Steven Universe, to be honest with you. That's up to you entirely. But this one plot point I'm gonna talk about kind of ruined the entire messaging of the show for me, because it becomes very messed up if you give it any line of thought. I miss Steven Universe. Understandable. Okay. Asriel, I'm gonna have to delete that comment because that word is technically not allowed on Twitch, and it could get me banned off of Twitch because of hate raids. So I'm gonna delete that message, but you're on the right track. Here's the thing though, Michelle. These the Diamond's whole story arc is that they were tyrants. That if everything wasn't perfect, if everything wasn't their way, if everything wasn't exactly how they wanted it, they just mass murdered probably millions, if not billions of gems that just wanted to live in a different way. Yeah, the phrasing, I gotcha. You're absolutely right about that, Michelle. But that's kind of what the messaging for the Diamonds ended up being, unfortunately. Not necessarily that they were that word. Again, Asriel, nobody's mad at you. You're not in trouble. But we do have to just not allow that word on Twitch due to that reason. Really, Mitchell? You don't really agree with the idea that... I don't know, man. I don't know. I banned all the maps, so you should be good to go. I didn't reject all the weapon requests. Shoot. But that's the thing. The Diamonds were forgiven for all their... I don't think too deep about it. That's my thing. Okay, understandable. The point I'm trying to get at is that the Diamonds did something that was last weapon. Okay. The Diamonds did something that should have been unforgivable. That was my main point. You don't have to give them a name, so to speak, but they did something that should have been seen as unforgivable. There should have been no real way that the Diamonds should have been forgiven for acting the way that they did in the show at all. And again, the Diamonds were written as these tyrants that basically dominated and said you have to live life that way. I get why it doesn't bother you, but again, there's more to it than just the Diamonds. You have to remember, there's another character in the show named Kevin, right? And Kevin's a teenager. A bit of a creepy teenager, but a teenager. So the Diamonds in the finale were given this whole forgiveness arc and said, oh, hey, you are allowed to be forgiven. But Kevin is murdered in the show. And, like, it may not seem like it's that deep. But at the same time, it's really hard to separate the two and be like, why is one okay but the other isn't? And this is what I was kind of talking about, like, all art that makes you think doesn't really mean it's good. Because that gives you the impression that because, well, again, spoiler alert, Steven is Pink Diamond, and Steven's mom was Pink Diamond, which, again, brought up a bunch of issues with the dynamic of Rose Quartz. It's confusing. It just becomes a thing of, oh, okay, so thing makes me think about family should be above all, right? But as we see in real life, that really can't be the case. And that kind of shows family above all else to a pretty toxic place. And yeah, you don't have to think about that deep, but the messaging is still kind of there. Now, I get what you mean, Michelle. Not a lot of people are saying, oh, it's a kid's cartoon, you don't need to think about that deeply about it. I'm not gonna say that that's wrong, but something being aimed at kids should not mean that's automatically free from criticism. Here's the thing that I'm going to criticize King Shadow Gaming about Steven Universe. It tried to have a message, and a fucking terrible one at that. And yes, I did swear. I'm not apologizing for that one. The message for that one was absolutely terrible. If it just went with the season 1 storyline of, Rose Quartz is a rebel that wants to free the gems, and like they're all friends because of the gems rebellion, that would have made sense. I would have a lot less to criticize. Even with the diamond ending, I would have a lot less to criticize about it. But the fact is that they didn't go with that. What happens today, Loki? What do you mean, Zen? What do you mean? We just be chatting. What happened? I know, I started talking about art, and now I can't get off the topic of art, because art is such an interesting topic to me. But, why are you banning the Bungo games? The Bungo games is the best. That's actually a good counterpoint, Silent Mongoose. I do appreciate that. If something is aimed at kids, as a parent, you should be more critical because kids are more impressionable and they can internalize harmful messages. That is actually a good counterpoint because of the fact that because you can end up internalizing a message. Like if we're using Steven Universe as an example, you end up internalizing the message that family is family regardless of how they treat you. And we see how well that works out in real life. And again, family is great if it works out. Family is amazing when it works out and if it works out. But when it doesn't, it shouldn't be a big deal. Sometimes you just need to walk away from people. I mean, what happened to make today a long day? It was just a long day. It was tiring. It was a long working day, is more so what it was. Today, it just seemed like a lot was going on today and was really busy today. And what normally takes me like an hour to get home, it took me 2.5 hours to get home. And by the time I got home, I was starving. I'm kind of glad I picked up food when I was walking home because I got like a really... I didn't set this right, sorry. I got some really good food on the way home, so yeah. I mean, King Shadow, to be fair to Steven Universe, it was a general under 18 audience that they were going for. It wasn't necessarily like a kids show, like for young kids. But at the end of the day, it was a kids show. But it definitely did get an older audience like they aimed it. Hey, Twin Fire, how are you doing? We're doing some private battles right now. We're just having some fun. I have actually lost a lot of respect for Rebecca Sugar. Because Rebecca Sugar really messed up on Steven Universe, and does Rebecca Sugar go by she, her, or does Rebecca Sugar go by they, them? I'm not fully sure, so I'm going to refer to them as they, them. Yes, Twindle Fire. If you want to join in, ! Join, you'll get the passcode. Rebecca Sugar, they really did mess up on the, Steven Universe, and I really hope that they don't really hide behind the shallow defenses that Steven Universe fans give for Steven Universe, because Steven Universe could have been great if they just listened to the criticism and not gone with the storyline that they were going for. But they kind of, especially in Steven Universe's future, I'm gonna say this right now, Steven is insufferable in Steven Universe's future. He is the worst character I have ever seen, and it's not like he even gets any karma or anything like that. He just ends up existing, and I hate him for it. Oh gosh, that show. Yeah, I mean, I know it's technically like a completely different... Steven Universe future was so bad. Even Steven Universe itself is not that bad. But with Steven Universe future, it just becomes the worst thing ever. Goodbye, my bunker games. Yeah, I understand that, Michelle. I have an interest in doing this, to be honest. I tend to torment myself a lot by doing, going through this. I don't really like being like, oh, you have to think about things critically. Honestly, if you don't think about things critically, that's up to you. That's your own cross to bear, or your own preference to hold. I don't want to force you into thinking things about critically. I just enjoy it. And Michelle, you don't have to. You really don't have to. There's aspects of Steven Universe or any other show that you would rather talk about. You could definitely chat about those positive points. It's just, especially when it comes to shows like Steven Universe and Steven Universe's future. I'm gonna say this. I consider Steven Universe the movie a different media altogether, because I can actually think that Steven Universe the movie, despite its flaws, is a little less toxic than Steven Universe has been. That is to hide people weapons. People have been asking me for a long time to hide the weapons, so then people don't know what's going on. So the Minecraft code pops up. Well, you can know what I am choosing. I just don't want you to know what my teammates are choosing. I mean, Michelle, you don't really need to defend it, to be honest with me. Or to be honest with you. You don't want to think about things critically? Just say that. You just want to watch some animations of a girl dancing? Which I'm kind of curious what animation you're talking about. I'm really curious. Just say that. But at the same time, just know I tend to be the one that looks at things critically. I don't know, personally for me, there's very little media that is up to debate. And the media, besides debating on its quality, that I would say is not up for debate, is like very few and far between, so yes. Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. It's on Crunchyroll. I'm gonna look that up and probably watch it after stream. I'm kind of curious now. Oh shoot. I don't know if anything I am saying is making any sense. It's just... If we're going to be talking about Steven Universe Future, there's a lot, or not just Steven Universe Future, Steven Universe as a whole, there's a lot of complaints I could make about that show, because my gosh, was that show bad. But I also have a lot of things that I think is really good, like the Loki series. I thought the Loki series was amazing. I actually don't watch that anime or any anime too much. I don't actually watch anime that much, honestly, because of the fact that, there's certain stereotypes that I don't like. I've talked about it before, but there's certain stereotypes that I really don't like in anime. And I do everything I can to, avoid it. I don't think I can summon Loki the Inkling, because, oops. Maybe I can. Alright, me and Teensy will go on spectate for this round. Let's go. GG, GG. Oh wait, I forgot to ban the map. Next round I'll ban the map. Enjoy, Zen. Enjoy. I do when I can afford them. I have some Polaroids that are unshot right now that I could use. But I do like shooting them, and I have experiment with the double exposure and stuff like that, and it is a little bit fun. Nice, thank you, Michelle. Check it out. I have to check it out. I remember there was animes that I used to really like when I was a kid, like Shugo Chara. If you guys remember what that one is. Yeah, I really like that one. It was like about a girl that laid eggs, and then she had these 3 little characters that followed her around. I like that one. Actually, it was 4. So we find the series, the characters are all very unique. Nice, nice. Nice, nice. GG, GG. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's go, Octo. Let's go. What do you like take Polaroids of? Mostly right now, the Polaroids that I am taking pictures of are either me experimenting with the camera itself and the double exposure feature. The double expose feature is a very fun little thing that you can do with some Polaroid cameras. And I'm just messing around with it. I haven't actually, because of the fact that it's been so cold recently, I haven't been able to take the camera out because that actually does damage the film. Nice, Asriel, nice. I do want to, like, get a film camera again. I wonder if there's, like, a proper film camera. out there because I haven't seen one in a while. Oh, they do have them, but they're hecka expensive. They're like $3,000. Yeah, no. That's what I mean, Squiddy John. The development isn't the best. So I've just been waiting for it to get warmer so then I can, so I can actually, like, deal with it properly. Is it a game series? What? That's insane. I'm low-key wanting to know what the series is like now. GG. Alright. Okay, you have to go and spectate, and let's do the go. Oh, whoops, nope. Hopefully I didn't damage the lobby doing that. They really should. I hope that next game they do that, but we'll see. Have you played the games, Michelle? Have you played the games at all? I'm curious. Got to love 3v4s, right? Right? Oh hell, the goat! I think I'm going to go on for a little while longer, maybe for like another half an hour. I am actually getting quite tired. Again, it's been a terribly long day. So I'm not full energy right now, so I think I'm gonna cut the stream a little bit short. I'm sorry I streamed late and then I'm cutting it short. I'm so sorry about that. I hope you guys aren't mad at me. But I will be streaming on Monday. If you didn't see my Twitter announcement, I will be streaming on Mondays from now on, but I will not be streaming on Thursdays anymore. So, yeah, that will be fun. But yeah. Also, if you weren't here earlier for me to talk about it, I was talking about my birthday stream earlier, which is in July. Probably going to be doing, if everything pans out, probably going to be doing a little bit of an interesting giveaway. And I hope you guys come for that. Well, I hope you guys come because it's my birthday, but yeah. By Mondays? Because of my work schedule, basically, if you want to know the whole explanation of it, of like the whole sad story why I can't stream exactly on Thursdays, I have to wake up at like 3 a.m. on Thursdays and Fridays in order to make it to work. And with streaming, on both of those days, I haven't been able to fall asleep. Well, I also have to wake up at 3 a.m. on Saturdays too, which kind of sucks, but I haven't been able to fall asleep or like get a full night's rest, which means I'm going to work dead tired, which isn't good. So I'm hoping by cutting down one of the days where I have to wake up super early and making it so that I only really have to do a few of those days, I'll be in a bit of a better headspace and I'm able to relax a bit more. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, I don't know if any of that makes sense, but yeah. It's basically trying to help my mental health type shiz. Plus, schedules change all the time here. Sometimes it is what it is. It has to be. GG. Actually, I might have to cut this shorter than I thought because I am a lot more tired than I thought it was. Hey, Nexio, how you doing? How you doing, friend? The rhythm games? That sounds like fun. GG, everyone. GG. GG. Loki, go to bed. You know what? One more round and then we'll find someone to raid. I think I'm gonna raid Botanist because Botanist is doing like a Celeborn stream. So we'll do one more round. Mono Goose, you have to go and spectate for this round. Let's go. Alright. No, I'm making you go to bed. One more round, Mom. One more round and then I'll go to bed. Yes, the goat. NeoXII, thank you so much for the follow. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated indeed. If you'd like my Nintendo Switch friend code, you can put !FC in the chat. Again, that's !FC in the chat. And you will be able to get my Nintendo Switch friend code in your whispers. So go and check that out in your whispers after you put it in the chat. If you don't want to play with us, though, perfectly fine. Lots of ways to interact with the stream should you decide to do so. Like chatting in the chat, using the emotes, the follow emotes are still like to have, and so much more. Yes, welcome, friend, welcome. Yes, bed or no Sunday stream? Oh, gosh. You drive a hard bargain, Yuki. Game? Game? I know one person disconnected, but what the heck happened? What? Oh, I'm by myself. Come here, you! We're doing 1v1! This last game is going to be 1v1. Most kills wins. Let's go! I have no idea where they are. I'm sorry, Twista. I know I'm putting you on the spot, kind of, and it kind of sucks because you have a bowler as a weapon. I feel bad for Twisted because they only have a roller for a weapon. Oh, unfortunately, this is actually going to have to be the last game because I'm actually falling asleep on my desk. And the last thing I want is to have a stream where it's documented I fell asleep while streaming. Don't worry, we'll be live tomorrow with more Splatoon. This feels incredibly unfair. I am so sorry, Twisted. Sleep stream. Technically, sleep streams are against the terms of service of Twitch. I mean, partners get away with doing them all the time, but technically they're against the terms of service of Twitch. Do they have a sleeping category now? Okay, maybe those terms of service have changed. I don't think I proved myself to murder Twisted another time, so I'm just going to cover turf. Check the map. That just ruined your... Oh, you were actually trying to make something. Oh yeah, I might have ruined your image there a little bit. I can kind of see an image here, can't you guys? I think Twitch mainly did that because somebody started up the whole subathon thing. And because the subathon got popularized, they needed a way to they needed a way to categorize it. GG. Not bad, not bad. Nice, Trindle. No, I honestly can't. I'm sorry, Trash. Man, I've been a garbage streamer recently. Wow. I'm gonna rate Botanist because Botanist is doing like a... The heck? Alright. Botanist is doing like a 12-hour stream type thing. So go say hi to Botanist. I'm gonna give Botanist some support with that. So go say hi to Botanist there. Oh my gosh. Raid message for tonight. Loki is bad. Loki is bad streamer. Just roast me in Botanist's section, chat section. Just be a bully to me and Botanist. Anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. If you cannot donate Black Lives Matter, click the YouTube link or look up Screen Donate on YouTube. Join Discord if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter for updates. I also update Discord so whatever your preference may be. Check out my YouTube channel, Songs I Love on Spotify. I hope you guys have a great day, night, or wherever it is for you guys. I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Bye! I'm going to bed.